All this Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Volkswagen Motorsport, Dunlop Tyres, and Ferodo, your number one in brakes. Welcome to Red Star Raceway, the 25th anniversary of Volkswagen Polo Cup. We're here to do some race action coming into the third last round, round 5 of 2021's Polo Cup Championship. JP van der Walt makes a welcome return after some hill climb duties. Giordano Lupini joins us for the very first time, and we've got a couple of drivers returning after a little bit of time off. It's great to catch up with Tasman Pepper at our pre-race press conference. Tasman Pepper, a welcome return for you after a long time out of the saddle. What's it like to be back in the car?
Horrible. No, I'm just joking. It's really good to be back in a car again. The Polo is very different to my W Series F3 car, so it's a bit of adjustment, but we're slowly getting there, and hopefully I can start catching these guys in the front.
I think they're a little bit concerned, eh? Let's speak about the man on the right-hand side of you there, birthday boy as well, and looking forward to getting some maybe some late birthday gifts this weekend.
I got a OMP gloves, I got the gel pads for my hands, so I've been spoiled a bit. But this weekend, I'll try to get a nice birthday gift with 2 wins. That's what we're aiming for, obviously, all the time. But yeah, our pace looks good, so it's very doable.
Quantum Mokoena, you've had a tough season so far, buddy. It's been pretty much down at the moment, but looking to turn it around, I'm sure, here at Red Star.
Super happy with how the pace is going at the moment. Managed to get used to the track quite quickly, and hopefully we can carry 2 top 6s tomorrow.
The all-important qualifying, particularly at this circuit, this way around, anti-clockwise, and of course the long straight means that Slipstream City could come into play. Teammates will be working frantically together to try and get those times in. You can see exactly why that worked out so well for Team Red Racing. Leighton Free on the front row, and he qualifies at the top with his teammate right there as well, Clinton Besaidnout. Good effort from our 2 ladies though, Tasman Pepper, and good to see that we're seeing Lonica Martin step up as well. The 2 ladies in the top 6 means it's going to be very interesting. Let's catch up now with Tassie and see how it went. Tassie, looks like a big welcome back, and it's gone according to plan into the top 6. But it's great to see both the ladies in the top 6 as well.
Yeah, it's not easy out there. It's super hard. You only get 1 lap on these tires. I kind of made a bit of a mess up on my first lap, so I'm just glad to be in Super Pole. Now I can give it another go, and as long as we're in the top 6, we're in a fighting chance in Polo Cup.
That's all I wanted.
Top quality stuff there, first Super Pole and into the top 6 for the first time. It's definitely been one of your big goals.
Yeah, no, definitely. From the beginning of the season, it was my only goal, actually, to be in the top 6 and to get into Super Pole. And yeah, we struggled with setup, and the team pulled everything together, and I'm super happy.
Another big surprise in the qualifying in Super Pole is this man, Natim Samanga, moving up for Squadra Course. First time he's been in the Super Pole and looking for a front row if he can possibly get there. He's have to fight hard now for 1 more lap. It's an out lap, a fast lap, and an in lap. And Lonica Martins leads them out with Natim Samanga right on her tail. Clinton Besaidnout definitely wants to be on that front row and possibly alongside his teammate. Let's see if Leighton Free can do the incredible and keep it to the perfect weekend he's had so far. He's already gone quickest in qualifying. Let's see if he gets that Super Pole. And Yuri Swart has got some work to do at a circuit that's probably not his favourite. Let's have a look at the lucky draw now for race number 2. And yes, it is 2 pole positions. Super Pole going to Leighton Free, and the lucky draw going his way as well. 4th place there for Lonica, and you can see just by the disappointment, Tasman down in 6th. 5th place for Yuri. So as I said, his hard work continues. Is it 2 or is it 3 here? It's number 2 for Natim Samanga. So 1, 2 stay exactly the same. Let's catch up now with Leighton and find out what his plans are. Arguably one of your luckiest draws ever there. It's position exactly the same as race number 1.
Yeah, I've used all my luck for this qualifying, I must say. The qualifying went perfect, Super Pole went perfect. I come here, I'm like, okay, well, I've probably used all my luck, so it's going to be like out of the top 3. And as soon as I pulled it, I saw that singular 1, and I was so happy. I mean, that's big for tomorrow. To be in the front is going to be massive, so it's a really good starting point, massive.
It's going to be pretty soon that they're going to remove this L from the car because he's no longer a learner, and Leighton is definitely the man to beat, having put it on to pole position and then the Super Pole as well. Incredible to see just how this young man is flying. Can anybody catch him? What are they going to have to do? We've heard from the drivers just how difficult it is to pass here. We'll have to wait and see tomorrow and find out what happens in race number 1. Race day has dawned. It's time to go and sort things out now. And can Leighton Fourie continue the absolutely perfect weekend he's had so far? It's been a long time since we've seen somebody take the qualifying, the Super Pole, and get the lucky draw all on the same day. So he's on pole position for both races today. And if he gets that first win, there's a very good possibility he'll be putting one hand on the championship trophy. Let's find out now what happens in race number 1. As you can see, race 1 and race 2's grid very similar, with Leighton Fourie and Natim Zamunga on the front row. Clinton Besaidnout right up there as well. And you've got Yuri Swart and the 2 ladies there in 5 and 6 just behind them. Hard charging Arnie Neveling. A little bit of work for him to do. Tate Bishop and Charles Visser will also be working hard, along with Kwanda Mokoena and JP van der Walt. Farhan Basha just in the background, and Giordano Lupini and Damien Hammond at the back of the grid. The luck has gone all according to plan for Team Red Racing's Leighton Fourie. He's on front row, and of course he's also going to be given that incredible pole position prize courtesy of Dunlop. 2,500 rand going his way. He'll be pretty happy with that. And now look to try and get the fastest lap in and possibly the first victory to keep that perfect run and the score for this round. Clinton Besaidnout, we're on board as we head down towards turn 1. It's a good start from Natim Zamunga. Besaidnout didn't quite get the start he wanted, and Yuri Swart's gone alongside him, looking for an opportunity to dive through into turn 1. Can he get there? Yes, he can. Besaidnout down to 4th. Look at where Arnie Neveling comes from. From the 7th position on grid, he squeezes up alongside Tasman Pepper and almost squeezes her out going into turn 2. Just able to get ahead of Tasman Pepper. Tasman's not going to give that up without a fight. In the background, they'll all start to sort things out. You can see a bit of a fight on there, big time there, between JP van der Walt and the King Price Extreme Car of Jaden Else. As they come down under the breakers, and therefore turn 4. Look at how tight it is here. Arnie Neveling on the inside, Tasman Pepper on his outside. Neveling going to try and just get that move stuck and make it stick for good now. And as they go through turn 3 and 4, you can see just how tight it is. An off-camber downhill corner, and eventually Ari just gets ahead there of Tasman. Tasman now the meat in the sandwich between the 2 Stradale cars. It's Lonica Martins on her tail. The 2 ladies doing a superb job here this weekend. They close right up on the back of Clinton Besaidnout. The KwaZulu-Natal man is under a bit of pressure there from Neveling. Tasman Pepper going on the inside. Oh, has a big look. Doesn't quite get there though. Neveling shuts the door. Up through the dog bone for the first time. He opens up the door again, and Tasman nearly makes him pay. And that's not what you want to be doing. If you're Tasman Pepper on your tail, you're going to have to definitely be wary. She certainly knows her way around a Polo. Now, a little bit further back there, you can see a big move from Davy van der Merwe. He got a great start off the line. Didn't quite get the qualifying he wanted, but he's found some pace. And remember, he has participated in other forms of Volkswagen saloon car racing here, and certainly knows his way around this way and the other way on Red Star Raceway. We're on board with Besaidnout, heading up towards turn 6, 7, 8 as they come under braking. In fact, it's 7, 8, 9, I beg your pardon, as they go in there. Tasman Pepper out-braking Arnie Neveling and squeezing through there. So Neveling drops back 1 position and straight into the clutches of his teammate. Have a look at this aerial material. The big train of Polo Cup cars coming through, 10 and 11. Absolutely brilliant to see all 18 cars almost in the same shot there from the aerial drone. This man is on fire this weekend. Natim Zamunga, he's turned his luck around. He's turned everything around in terms of his season. And the hard work that Keegan Masters and the team there at Squadra Corsa have been doing are certainly paying off. Remember, his teammate with a big crash at East London Grand Prix Circuit has not returned yet. And that car still not ready to rock and roll. We wish Buxy a very, very speedy recovery. Hopefully he'll be back in time for Swartkops. First lap completed in anger as they cross the line. It is all about Leighton Fourie. Side-by-side action in the background. That is Kwanda Mokoena going at it with Charles Visser. And in fact, no, not Charles Visser. That is Davy van der Merwe. He's sideways with there as they come into the first chicane. Davy just keeps him honest. So a bit of a fight on there between the youngsters. We heard from Kwanda. He wants to be on the top step of the podium. He's worked hard for it. Hasn't quite got the pace here this weekend. In fact, all the Stradale cars have backed a little bit with this way around at Red Star Raceway. Team Red Racing going at it here with Stradale Motorsport. You can see almost formation flying. The only odd one out there is Davy van der Merwe in his Universal Motorsport Polo. Otherwise, all 4 of the Stradale Motorsport and Inter Africa mining cars are right in their line astern, with Farhan Basha bringing up the tail end. Basha's just ahead of the second battle, a big battle on the field as well. And then in terms of what's happening out on track, you can see all of a sudden Charles Visser is now bringing along Farhan Basha, Nathan Hammond and Damien Hammond in the background. So there's some work being done in the back as well as in the front here. The biggest worker at this stage is Arnie Neveling. Having chatted to him in between qualifying and this morning's first heat, he was saying that they just haven't found the pace in the Stradale car. and he's not quite sure what's going wrong. Maybe he's overdriving it, he's not quite sure. But needless to say, he's still in the hunt and still in with a chance of a top 6 and still in with a chance of staying within this championship fight. Although he's going to be a lot higher than what he is right now if that's where Leighton Fourie is. Out front and disappearing from Natim Samanga and his closest 2 rivals, Clinton Besaidnout, his teammate, and of course the Alpine Autohaus car there of Yuri Swart. Little maneuver here coming along, and a big maneuver in fact turned out. Yeah, Faran Basha going defensive. A little bit of a tap there from Jaden Nelson. He's out of shape. And he catches it, comes straight back at Jaden Nelson. Jaden Nelson, the King Price Extreme car on the outside now, Faran Basha. Basha has had some problems on the brakes in that car, and now it's going to be a change-up for that position. Yes, indeed. Squeezing through there, the King Price car with a little bit of assistance there with some rubbing is racing. They may have a chat about that afterwards with the COC, but there was certainly no harmful intent there, just a little bit eager on the inside. And in fact, a door opens up, and JP van der Walt in the Platinum Wheels and Team Red Racing car says, thanks, I'll take that. Faran Basha losing 2 positions in the space of 3 corners. Definitely got rattled ever so slightly there from that tap coming from the King Price Extreme car of Jaden Nels. Basha demoted down 2 positions as we see Leighton Fourie onto the back straightaway for about the 5th time here. He is absolutely flying right now. Brilliant stuff here from him and starting to set very hot lap times. In fact, he's just gone and put in the fastest lap of the race so far. So if that's the case, there's another bonus point headed his way, and he continues with the perfect weekend. Comes Darby on the back end of Lonica. He's closed up rapidly. Lonica Martins will make him go around the high side. High side of an off-camber downhill left-hander, very difficult to overtake. Will he make it stick? If he holds that line going into the dog bone, there's a possibility he might be able to just outgun Lonica, and I think that's exactly what he's going to try and do. Have a look at that. Everybody says you can't pass at the circuit this way around. Well, there you have it. Davy van der Merwe is about to show you that you can, but it takes about 5 corners to do it. He eventually sets it up and then gets it done 5 corners later. There you go. That's one overtaking maneuver that you can attempt. So if anybody's watching this in the future, that's an opportunity that Davy van der Merwe has shown. As I said, he's not the most experienced driver in Polo Cup, but he certainly has got a lot of experience in saloon cars. And in his previous outings in the other Volkswagen Championship, he certainly knows exactly what to do to get through some competitive drivers, including Lonica Martins, who is surprised a huge amount of people to be in the top 6 after her incredible qualifying. And she's still in the fight there with her teammate just behind her. Kwanda Mokoena coming along to join the fight. Behind that, JP van der Walt taking on the King Price car of Jaden Nelson. In fact, he's got through on Jaden Nelson. So there's also a change-up as JP's made up 1 position further back in the field. The Hammonds are going at it in the Trinity Protection Services car. Damien and Nathan Hammond all fighting hard there with Giordano Lupini, the new man to the series. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, I saw Tate Bishop in that picture as well. So Tate has dropped right back with a little mistake somewhere on track, and he's now fighting with the 2 Hammond boys and Lupini. Bit of a Cape Town battle there versus the East Rand. Across the line, and no changes in the top 6. They stay the same. As they come across the line there, watch out for the hard charge though coming from Kwanda Mokoena. He certainly is a little bit more fired up. Davy has pulled ever so slightly away now, so there's some good driving here coming out of Davy van der Merwe. He's gotten away from Lonica Martins, who's dropped back into the clutches there of her teammate. And those two are going to fight it out for honours to be who is going to be second in Stradale Motorsport with Arnie Neveling up the road. Superb stuff here from Natim Samanga so far. He's stayed ahead of Yuri Swart and Clinton Besaidnout. Remember, those two are in the fight for second place in the championship. Nati not really there, but he's definitely looking for his first second place in a race ever. And the second step of that podium looks like it might be headed to Squadra Corsa's opportunity. And let's see if he's able to get it all sorted out by the time the checkered flag comes out, because this has got to be one of his best drives he's ever had in a Polo. Checkered flag time, as you can see, Leighton Fourie now coming up towards that checkered flag. He's got 3 corners to go, and Fourie has done it all right. He's put in the fastest lap. He's about to take the first victory, and that means if he goes ahead and does the same thing in the second race, there's a very good possibility he'll be putting one hand on that championship trophy and doing what his teammate did last year, Dario Busi, stepping up from Rookie of the Year the previous year into the Champion of the Year that he's in right now. And that's exactly what Leighton is trying to do. Going to take that rookie championship and turn it into an overall championship. He's a happy man as he comes to take the checkered flag and cross the line. First race to Leighton Fourie for Team Red Racing and Universal Motorsport. Happy Keegan Masters on the sideline and an ecstatic Natim Samanga in the car behind him for Squadra Corse, taking second place ahead of Yuri Swart. Clinton Besaidnout came through for 4th place ahead of Tasman Pepper and Arnie Neveling there in the top 6. Van der Merwe, Martins, Kwanda Mokoena and JP van der Walt making up the top 10 in the Platinum Wheels machine. So Nati, take us through that incredible effort there from your side. You must be pretty stoked.
I'm so stoked. I can't believe it happened. My team has been working so hard. We've been working so hard practicing, and they're giving me the best car throughout the season, and we put so much effort into it. I'm so glad that after a couple of races, it shows that the work has been put to good use. And I can't thank my sponsors enough, VW Squadron Course and my sponsor Asida. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. And I just want to keep moving forward and keep working hard and hopefully get that P1 position next time.
The perfect weekend continues, Leighton, and a good job so far.
We've done half the job today. Quali and the draw put us in a good position, and Universal's given me this awesome car to do the job. So yeah, one's done and one to go.
Great to see two youngsters fighting so hard. And remember, they start at the front row again for race number 2. So will it be more of the same from Leighton Fourie, and can he continue his perfect sweep? Let's find out after the break in race number 2. Welcome back, and I can tell you something, it's heating up here even more for race number 2. The Dunlop tyres are going to be pushed to their limits for the second heat of Volkswagen Polo Cup. They're about to line up. Let's find out what happens and see who's going to take it at the end of the day and possibly spoil the day for Leighton Fourie. That's going to be a hard ask, particularly when he's in such great form here at Red Star Raceway. We go on board with Nathi Msimanga as the lights are about to go out. Great start once again from Nathi. He gets into second gear. Let's see if he's able to hang on and tuck in behind Leighton Fourie as they go into the first chicane. Looks like he's going to do that. He's defending on the inside to keep out Clinton Besaidnote, and Besaidnote slots up there. Great start from Lonica. Look at that. She's up ahead of Yuri Swart, just ahead of Tasman Pepper, and then it's side by side with Charles Visser and Arnie Neveling. Behind that, Davy van der Merwe goes side by side with Foreign Busher with a much better start. And you can see things going really well so far for these front pack of cars. They head down towards turn 3 and 4. Off camber, as I said, as you've seen earlier on, how difficult this corner is to get right. And here comes a maneuver from Kwanda Mokoena on Charles Visser. How many times have we seen that in the past? Probably in karts more than anything else, but they've definitely had a lot of time together in the saddle when they've been involved with motorsport in these two careers. Just behind that, you can see them starting to line up there. A lot better start also coming out of JP van der Walt. He's not too far off the back end of that top 6. Here we go on board with Yuri, trying to squeeze through. Can he make it stick? Yes, he can. Oh, Yuri Swart shows us how to make an overtaking maneuver as they get into the dog bone as well. Brilliant stuff from Yuri, moving up one position and fending off to get through there on Lonica Martins. Eventually getting through right onto the bumper now of Clinton Besaidnote. So he's with his championship rival exactly where he needs to be. Lonica looks like she lost out a little bit of ground to Tasman Pepper as well at the same time. And then we've got Davy van der Merwe now going at it with Kwanda Mokoena. So Kwanda Mokoena is going to swap things out. He went at it in the first heat with Davy van der Merwe. He had a bit of fun and games with Charles Visser early on. He's lost out a bit of ground now, and with that, Tate Bishop comes along with Nathan Hammond and JP van der Walt. I said those three had got a lot better starts here in the second heat. So let's see if they're able to capitalize on that and move them way up a little bit higher up. Here comes JP side by side. Oh, look at this. Brilliant stuff from JP van der Walt on the inside of Hammond as he gets up into 7, 8 and 9. And this is brilliant stuff. A little bit of a touch there, and maybe a little bit out of shape. And you can see, in front also, Tate Bishop getting out of shape. A couple of guys just pulling some dirt onto the circuit. They're going to be very wary of that. The COC has warned that pulling dirt onto the circuit unnecessarily may be deemed as a penalty of about 15 seconds for your first attempt, 15 for the second, and a possible black flag for the third. So you cannot avoid, or you have to avoid, going off the circuit and pulling rubbish onto the track unnecessarily. They will definitely be watching out for that. We're watching at the front end as Leighton Fourie is pulling away from Nathi Msimanga, and he's being closed down rapidly by Clinton Besaidnote. Besaidnote certainly wants to make it a 1-2 and spoil the day there for Nathi Msimanga. But you can see as they come through there, the other thing they've got to watch out for are those cones on the right-hand side. Look at how tight they're getting there. There's every single car going to go past. Will there be somebody to touch those cones, or are we going to get a clean sweep here? Only just a clean sweep. Giordano Lupini, very lucky to avoid those cones right in the end. Oh, no avoidance here. Nathi Msimanga getting tapped big time there from Clinton Besaidnote. He's trying to find a gear. Can he find a gear? Yes, he's got one. He goes to push to pass to try and get the power back again, and he loses 1, 2, 3 positions. So unfortunately, with that tag, Yuri Swart's gone through on him. So is Lonica, so is Tasman. He's lost out a lot of ground there, has Nathi Msimanga, but that was a vicious maneuver there from Clinton Besaidnote. Sometimes the frustration level gets quite high, and of course, as soon as you're up and close with somebody and you can't find a way past, you've got to force your way through, and I think that's exactly what Clinton was trying to do there. I don't think he necessarily meant to touch and tag him, but there was definitely some contact between the two of them, and I'm sure they'll have a chat as well, probably in the COC's office afterwards, but we'll get the official results when we get to the end of this race. But what a race so far. This is a much better second heat than what we saw in the first one. Lots more action, including action here between Tate Bishop in the Angry car, taking on the Platinum wheels. And you can see that Team Red Racing machine, not quite in the Team Red Racing colours, but JP van der Walt also being helped out there by Universal Motorsport. This is once again on board with Yuri Swart and having a look at that tag between the Squadra Course car. He goes on the inside, just avoids the little tap there on Natim Samanga. And well, I'm sure that they'll sort that out afterwards. And Samanga has now dropped back behind, as I said, Tasman Pepper, but right into the clutches now of two very hungry drivers who are on his tail and looking for a way through. As they get up through the dog bone, the first of them, of course, is Neerveling. The second one is Martins. She definitely wants to come back. In fact, Lonica, Lonica's dropped back. Lonica's lost out some positions there. Tasman went through, Lonica went through, but then she lost out positions and Nati's retaken them. And with that retake has also brought Arnie Neerveling back into the hunt here for a possible top 6. Neerveling has to get through on him, Samanga. He also has to try and get through on Tasman Pepper. Right now, he sits in 6th place. And let's see whether or not he's able to do anything about the youngster in front of him. Neerveling in his time and Tasman in her time have all been, as he locks up there under braking, I'm about to finish my comment there, have all been involved in development of younger drivers coming through the ranks. So they'll certainly know that these youngsters hold nothing back, and they've probably got no respect for their elderly statesmen. And when I say that they're elderly, they're not much older than them, but of course they are slightly older than the guys that they're driving against. And Natim Samanga is one of our youngest drivers out there. To be in the mix here at this stage of his career certainly shows you that Keegan Masters and the Volkswagen Motorsport team and Squadra Course have done the right job. And he's probably going to be a big threat to the end of the season as well, as we head to Swartkops and to Kyle Army to finish up the championship. Across the line goes Leighton Free. This man is just on fire. There's no one to touch him here today. Not even his teammate can run with the pace of Leighton Free out front. And he's definitely looking like, with this possible win and that fastest lap that he's just set, that the one hand will be on the championship with 2 rounds to go. 4 more races in this championship. It's going to be absolutely electric to see how this one finishes up. And are we going to see the similar thing that happened last year with Dario Bussi stepping from rookie to overall champion within the same season? Brilliant stuff here from Natim Samanga. He's now looking to try and close down on Tasman Pepper. Very smooth gear changes, no rush, and he hasn't really got flustered that badly after that tag. And by that saying that, you can see he just moves across on Arnie Neerveling, who's got no answer to him. As I mentioned earlier on, the Stradale cars have battled this weekend. They haven't quite found the pace that they've had in the past. And this way around, they really aren't enjoying Red Star Raceway, although a lot of guys prefer this way around. Depends on what you're driving. In the bigger cars, of course, you're going to battle a little bit because there's not a lot of room to play and not a lot of room to overtake. And that's what Charles Visser is going to try and make me eat my words on. Yes, there you go. Charles Visser on the inside of Lonica Martins, but I think Lonica Martins ran wide on her own there. So there was a little bit of a mistake from Martins, and you don't want to do that with Charles Visser on your tail. He's about to step up into 7th place, his best finish so far in Polo Cup, and looking forward to more of the same, because he really has battled. And when I say battled, look on the right-hand side of his car there at all the battle scars from previous outings here at Red Star Raceway, and of course outings in Polo Cup as well. There's a lot of battle scars on the side of that car. He doesn't hold back, does young Charles Visser, but he certainly is a future hope here for Team Red Racing. Up the back straight away, they come in the background, just picking up, of course, on Dean Fenter, Tate Bishop, Nathan Hammond and Damien Hammond. Giordano Lupini's had a bit of a baptism of fire to come into the National Championship Polo Cup, but the Bullion IT car will definitely be a man to watch out for as he progresses to the front. We've got 2 corners to go for Leighton Free. He has done the absolute perfect weekend. He qualified first. He was on Super Pole. He drew number 1 for race number 2. And of course, an incredible drive in both races have seen him take the fastest laps and both victories on the day. The perfect weekend in his birthday week has given him a great gift of possibly one hand on the championship as he comes to take the checkered flag. Brilliant effort there from Leighton Free. A 1-2 for Team Red Racing and Universal Motorsport, with Clinton Besaidenote finishing up in 2nd place. But the championship is now wide open for 2nd, with Yuri Swart right behind Besaidenote, and there's going to be a tight little championship point battle there between the two of them. And a welcome return to Tasman Pepper as well. Let's get those official results, though, as we finish up race number 2 from Red Star. Leighton Free beats out Clinton Besaidenote and Yuri Swart. Tasman ahead of Natim Samanga, Arnie Neerveling, Charles Visser, Martins, Jaden Elson, Darby van der Merwe. 4 Universal cars in the top 10. Let's catch up with championship rival Yuri Swart now after a tough day in the saddle.
Look, we're taking it round by round, as I said it every round. My team's chuffed. We didn't come here expecting this. I expected Leighton to be a force to be reckoned with. They were definitely holding back a bit yesterday. Quali was a bit disappointing. I didn't hook up the lap from my side, and knowing starting 4th was always going to be a bit of a setback on this track. It's so impossible to pass, and clear air is so important. I think if I got on the front road, it would have been a lot closer, but Leighton definitely had the edge. Second heat, drawing 5th is out of your control. The yellow flags in turn 1 made it difficult. We had an epic launch, but couldn't use it. Clinton and Nati had it coming together, so I thought I'd play it safe and stick behind Clinton in case maybe something comes of that incident. Just not worth it, because there was a train of 5 or 6 cars behind me, and with Clinton's extra push to pass, it wasn't really worth taking the risk on him. He was just going to boost past me again later, so rather just let the race flow and bag the podium. And yeah, Swartkorp's next, Leighton's home track again, but I think let's maybe go for a day before, do some laps. I've been there a lot of times. I'm a lot more confident there than here. So a lot can happen. A lot of people can miss gears. A lot of people can make mistakes, as Arnold and I have done this year. And Leighton's yet to make one, which is good from his side, but still 2 rounds to go. So still 5 heats or 4 heats for anything to happen. So you never know.
4 heats still to go, but one hand on the championship possibly after this weekend, Leighton.
It's big for the championship. I mean, to get a full house throughout the whole weekend, pole, and then draw a pole and race one and fastest lap both times. I mean, I can't thank Universal enough for the car that they've given me. And yeah, now we move on to Swartkorps with a bigger lead and a bit of breathing space.
Let's have a look at the championship points headed into Swartkorps. There you can see 217 plays 196, 193 and 170. That's where the championship battle is. Jaden Else too far back. I think Keegan Campos may be able to step up into the top 5. Great to see these guys battling so hard in the 25th anniversary of Polo Cup. We can't wait to show you what happens at Swartkorps. Come and join us for all that action at the penultimate round of Polo Cup. All this Polo Cup action was proudly brought to you by Ferodo, #1 in brakes, Dunlop Tyres, and Volkswagen Motorsport.